Are you with us, Ohi?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Braswell. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. Great. I'm going to put you on the screen here so everyone can see you. That's great. Thank you for joining us here today, sir. And
Thank you.
where are you coming to us live from today?
Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. So
Yeah.
I believe you mentioned you were going to do a second internship at a company in Houston. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly.
So
Yeah.
just spend 60 seconds and tell us about what you're doing in Houston and your grand adventure there.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So currently, I'm in Houston. I work with a consulting firm, Ernst& Young. Basically, what we do is we partner with a client called State Farm, and we're trying to like revamp their insurance policy. So we're making use of the software called PIGA, which is a CRM BPM model, and we're trying to utilize agentic AI to streamline the processes of insurance policies. So that, for example, take for instance, you're trying to get like probably a customer to get their background information, get their driver's license records, get their government records. You have an agentic AI that does all these things instead of manually letting like an insurance or a lawyer do all these things, from step by step processes. And what I've been doing right now is just doing some research into proof of concept and trying to see how we can utilize agentic AI with the PIGA system, because right now PIGA doesn't support agentic AI, but that's basically what I'm doing right now in the consulting firm.
Okay, interesting. So the current system does not support the AI that they want, and you're helping them investigate how to upgrade potentially to utilize
Exactly.
AI.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, that definitely sounds along the lines of the things that we were working on together. And before we're done, the last thing that I want you to tell us all about is
Hmm.
your big idea. Okay? Remember how each of us with the three interns had a big
Yeah.
idea that we wanted to work on, and I want you to save that to the very end. That's your big idea to share with everyone at the end of today's talk. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen in a minute. Meanwhile, why don't you tell us how did you hear about the Texas Tech Honors College internship?
Okay. So it was just on a random day. I was scrolling through like the school's email newsletter and outlet, and I saw the advertisement on we call it tech announce, and I just basically went through the link, put in my application, and I got contacted by Dr. Hernandez, who is currently the dean for the Honors College, and she was quite impressed with my application and decided to call me in for an in-person interview. And I moved on from that process, and I got to interview with Mr. Braswell right here and got selected for this externship.
Okay, great. So, along with yourself, there were a total of four people that interviewed for the externship position, and
Right.
we ended up approving all four, amazingly.
Cool.
So that was very fortunate, one might say, and so everybody got a chance to participate in some way. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now, and tell me, Ohi, if you're able to see my screen sharing.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So, what are we looking at here?
All right. So I think this was where we were at the 3D printer space. So they had this, like um, like a big workshop where they were, doing some form of 3D printing. They were working on some kind of projects. I remember they had some partnership for like a product with NASA, which was, quite at one side. They didn't want to like disclose too much about it because it was kind of like some um, like some I don't know much about I don't know much about the project, but yeah, this was like a 3D space. They had a bunch of products they were using. They're trying to, I would say, modernize and make the process of 3D printing faster. They had a bunch of big machines that were automating all the 3D printing. They had also interns who were like designing new concepts and working on like new projects to keep printing these ideas and models. And I remember they had about I think 600 or 800 produce like output in a day, like across the world, because they had offices in different continents and various locations across the globe, and which was quite exciting to see because I have for once never necessarily or like actually seen like a 3D printer face to face, and known how it works, and we're able to explore that throughout the course of that day. I think it was on Tuesday, the second day of our externship.
Very good. So you can see these 3D printers in the background are literally as big as we are, actually bigger than we are.
Yeah.
That ginormous thing back there, you could fit a whole human being inside. You could print. They had several things that were printed that were significantly bigger than people.
Yeah.
They had some giant rocket ships and other models and so forth. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what was our next picture here. Oh yes, do you remember this one?
Oh yeah.
This was a CNC machine, or was it the sandblast? No, I think it was the CNC machine. So it has a rotating cutter head. That's what those things are in the back there. And he said if it's running, don't stand with your back to it.
Because it could grind the human being. True.
It could grind your whole rear end right off of your body.
Yeah.
Or grind your spine off or something. Oh, here's Josh Day. I do this for a living. Wow. Okay. Well, Josh knows a lot about this. He probably knows what machine this is right here. But yes, you can see that on this particular one, there is a lot of machinery to it. There's an entire control panel here and so forth. So anyway, that was a fun one. And let's see, what was our next one here? I'm trying to remember. Oh, this guy, he totes my goats. So I know that's this was a random employee of the 3D printing place, and he walked through with two goats right in the middle of the 3D printing station. And we all just stopped there for a moment and said, what in the heck is going on here? Well, they have a agricultural exemption for the property that's on the outskirts of town where this is located, and so they have to move the goats back and forth in order to let them eat the grass in order to take care of the land properly. So bizarrely, they do tote the goats directly through the middle of the 3D printing there. Okay, let's see, what else did we have here? These are just randomly selected images. Oh, yes. This one, that was fun. That was
the sculpted models. I mean, it was generated through the 3D printers.
Everybody got to, there's a whole wall full of models you can see behind here on our right. Oh, he's wearing the Iron Man mask right there in the middle. Right. And then I'm holding this sort of Sierpinski pyramid fractal thing in the foreground. And in the background, the gentleman who took us on the tour is holding a spaceship. Can anybody see what that, I know that the picture is a little small. Can you see what spaceship that is right there?
Millennium
No, it's not the Millennium Falcon. That would be copyright infringement. This is the Millennium Falcon, and it's a totally open source model that has nothing to do with that infringement upon Disney and Lucasfilm's Copyright Limited Incorporated.com. So please do not infringe or do illegal things like that. And that's not Iron Man, it's Myron Man, apparently. And we've got the T-Rex back there, not the same T-Rex from Jurassic Park. It's actually his cousin who didn't get hired for the film. And I think that, then you have a Stormtrooper as a Stormtrooper helmet over there and some other items. So, yes, we had a fun time picking through all of their 3D printed stuff. You mentioned the NASA project they had. We were not allowed to take pictures of their NASA project, but I can tell you what it does. It's a 3D printer in space. So they send a 3D printer into space, which is very impressive, and they actually showed it to us. So we did get to see the actual printer itself. And that was, it's used to print heat shielding. So they can recycle some of the materials that are used to like maybe packaging or other things that are used when they're sending things up into space. And then they can either melt it or recycle it or somehow convert it into a printable substance, I guess you would say. And that printable substance is then used on a dome-shaped platform to print these heat shield segments that can then be automatically assembled or manually assembled somehow onto various re-entry components. So it was very neat and interesting to hear about that, I thought. And then they also had another very interesting local project that was used for recycling used plastics from local establishments. For example, they have, there's a local place in town in Austin here that's called It's a place that sells reused or recycled products. And one of the things they have is a whole lot of plastic pieces or components. Because they get donations in plastic bins. That's what it was. So there's we have all these plastic bins everywhere. Everybody's got plastic bins. You got any plastic bins, or several hundred or 1,000? Because I've got probably about 100. How many do you have? A few, probably, plastic bins. So everybody gives donations in these plastic bins, but then they need to grind up the bins. And they grind them up into little bits, and then they put those bits into a special recycling thing that allows you to make 3D printer dust out of it, and then that gets used by the 3D printers. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. Any other final thoughts about the 3D printer place, Ohi?
I guess he was trying to, I remember him talking about probably the possibility of using his place for the next Perl conference.
Yes,
right.
That's true. They're building a new facility there that's currently used to house a lot of their 3D printing machines and some other sort of junk that they have. It's actually the area right behind that's dark. Right behind this picture, believe it or not. There's a little warehouse back in there, and if that got cleared out, it could potentially be used to do a show or a music show or something. And they have another little area that has kind of a raised up stage as well that currently has a bunch of, again, 3D printers and stuff on there. But yes, we may be able to potentially partner up with them at some point in the future. So yes, that's a very good point. Okay, let's move on. Let's, whoops. Okay, what's our next thing here? It is, yes, what are we doing here? Do you remember this one?
Yeah, the Driscoll.
Yes, this is the historic Driscoll Hotel. And unfortunately, we found out that we were not able to go through the actual hotel. Do you remember why?
It was under construction.
Yes, it was all blocked off with these big boards and stuff with the big construction sign on there. But we got to go in the lobby, and you can see just by looking at the lobby, it is pretty dang amazing.
Yeah.
This is just when you walk in the front door. So we got to go in there, hang out for a few minutes. I will tell you, for those of you that are able to come to the Driscoll whenever it's open, I've never been able to spend the money to actually stay there, but I have spent the money to go to their fancy restaurant there. And the reason is because, well, I took my wife on our anniversary there. She wanted me to take her there. And it's one of the only places in town that is it's the only non-French, non-Chinese place that serves duck. Because French places and Chinese places usually have a duck item on their menu, but very rarely does anywhere else have that. And I love specialized meats, and I'm into cooking meats, and me and Mark Zuckerberg, we like to grill some meats. So it's just various collections of meats that you can cook and eat them and enjoy them with your family, and we like the meats. So look it up. It was Zuckerberg's first ever video stream, live stream, and it was him standing in his backyard talking about the type of meats that he was grilling. But he wouldn't tell you what it was. He just kept saying it was, quote, a collection of meats. So I think that's what we could all use in our life, is just a collection of meats.
Especially today.
Especially today. There's not enough meats. Okay, let's see what else we've got going. Oh, by the way, this is Dewash in the front, and Amar standing there with the glasses next to Ohi in the back. Okay, moving on. Oh yes, this was a fun one. What was this one here?
So it was just like a store, somewhere around the Congress Street, where they sold like hats, cowboy hats, a bunch of stickers, college key holders, and yeah, we got to get the cowboy hats thanks to Mr. Braswell.
Yes, I do remember something about that.
Yeah.
Hey, guns up for Texas Tech. Yep, when they found out that we were from Tech, then they, the shopkeeper was like, oh, I've got some guns. You have to hold these guns. And they're all like porcelain or, they're fake guns. But, he got the twin shooters there. So he's ready to challenge anyone that's a wine bottle holder with two guns. So you're ready for some wine and some guns. The other one is what? A paperweight, a coffee mug, and like a doorstop or something. So yeah. Anyway, that was pretty funny. So, but we all got the matching hats, which is fun, and we got to go on out on the town. And what did we do with our matching hats?
We wore it, I guess.
Well, we got to go see something that rhymes with hats.
Oh, bats. Yeah,
Bats.
we went to this. Yeah, we went to this bridge, and basically we're waiting for bats to come out at night, and there were about a bunch of them waiting on the ground for dusk to, get darker.
Basically, we waited for about an hour, and then finally the bats started coming out. And then we watched them for about 10 minutes, and we were sick of it, and we left. But it was fun, though. We got to watch all of the girls walk by, and all of the guys that were, big buff guys, and there was the guitar kid singing on the corner. And boy, he sounded terrible, but we felt so bad for him because, nobody wanted to give him 10 cents or give the lad a ducat or whatnot. So he was kind of wailing away. Anyway, it was fun. It was a whole cultural experience of everything.
And we had the Austin Library at the other side of this picture.
Yes, that's true. The Austin Library and a bunch of high-rise buildings were over there. And in fact, you can see that there's the same exact shot minutes later. Just minutes later, we were able to get this amazing shot. And do you remember what was really special about this shot? It's kind of a hidden thing. You have to know what you're looking for. But if you look closely, there's something special in this. Do you remember what it was? It's like Tetris. Has anybody played the game Tetris before?
I see it. Yeah, I see it now.
Okay, what is it?
So it's like a game of blocks, right? And you have to basically match the blocks to be able to not pile up much blocks, because the more blocks you pile up, then game over. And yeah, the moon was, in between these two buildings.
So this was the moon right here, and it had gone perfectly in between these two buildings, exactly down to the very edge of the building, both the building roof, which is right here, and the tree line, which is just bizarre. So you can see that a little bit differently here with this sideways view that I got. And there she is. It's the moon. The moon. Yes. So, and then we went walking about some more, and finally came to the end of our journey, which was, where am I here? Yes, there I was.
Right.
So what was this?
The Texas State Capitol.
Yes, and what color stone is it made out of?
Color stone.
Do you remember the special fancy granite stone that it's made out of? It's pink granite.
Pink granite.
Pink granite, that's right. Although they actually call it like sunset red or something weird like that, but it comes from down south of Austin in the Wimberley area. So that's, we did get to, in fact, I had some other pictures, I forgot what I did with them, but some pictures of us standing out in front of the Capitol building as well. But we only went inside for just a moment because they were about to close. But we'll go back next time when you guys come to town. It takes pretty much a whole day to get through that building because it's the biggest Capitol building in the country, bigger than
DC
and so forth, and it's one of the tallest as well. So anyway, so that was exciting, and we did a lot of Perl stuff as well. So I want to spend the last 10 minutes, okay, we've got 10 minutes left, just talking about what we did with Perl and what you remember most. We went to see our customer, we programmed your laptops, we did several Perl exercises, we worked on the Perl AI systems, we looked at the Shiny bugs that we were fixing on Shiny. We did a lot of Perl stuff together. So I would just like for you to share sort of some of your impressions and ideas about Perl.
Okay. So I first got to work with Perl for the first time during my externship. And first off, we began by installing the build tools like sudo apt and all of that to just have these Perl modules. Then I also learned about the cpan. So like the cpan is like a module that gives Perl the optional type annotations, and I think we have over 250,000 modules in the cpan. And I also got to explore Perl types, which was built by Mr. Braswell, and we ran basic script like scripts to add the first 10 numbers, scripts to just play with characters and everything, and that was just testing our basic knowledge on arrays, hashing, regular expressions, and all of that. And one thing I remember is to not copy codes or to not use code, source codes you don't understand.
Hey, did you make that mistake?
I did. I did.
Oh no.
But yeah, I mean, I've learned to not use source code you don't understand how they work. You don't really understand how they are being, executed. So you should avoid using them. Then I think going back to the first day on Monday when we went to um, what's the name?
In
Uh,
motion.
In motion, yeah, we talked about the software development lifecycle and going through stuff like the purpose. You should define each purpose, like each module, why they exist in your project. Going to the planning, the design from flowcharts to pseudocodes and all of that. Then implementation, and for us, we're basically using the Perl programming language, then Linux system, and also using Shell Bash for like that was basically our stack, and going through testing, deployment, and then maintenance. And also, I learned about the methodologies being used in the basically in a tech environment, in a corporate environment. You have methodologies like agile, waterfall, and I think they said waterfall was the most used, if I remember. And I got to read up on it. I got to know that Agile has quick iterations, and the way it goes is waterfall sometimes goes from all through the SDLC, and if there's like any issue, like you get back to, if I'm making sense. For example, you go through all the SDLC to probably testing, and then you find out that there's an issue with the design, and then you basically go back and start all over.
Yes,
You
that is correct. Yes.
and yeah, what else? And we also, like I said, we also got to write Perl source codes. Moving on to the three ideas we explored, Navi AI. Basically, this is like the brain um, of some artificial general intelligence, and this made use of I would say some kind of like neural network, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that is
We
correct.
using machine learning models and bunch of neural networks to basically develop the brain of a robot, and we explored them. Explored this project. I think there were like four GPUs that were powering this software, and
Correct.
yeah, so we're basically able to log into the computer and then interact with this with this AI system, and we could see each time it's trying to answer our prompts, we could see the amount of CPU usage and the amount of storage is being used to just carry out this function and deliver some outputs. Then also we explored the Shiny CMS, which is like some content management system or customer management system. So
Content,
just
content, content.
content.
Yeah,
Got it.
it's customer, CRM is customer
Yeah,
relationship management, and
okay.
CMS is content management system. So yes, those are often confused.
I see. Okay, got it. And yeah, basically just like you have like I would say software like Instagram, how you manage user content. We got to see like the um I would say the rear end or like the back end of it, how these database administrators, operate and how they basically handle large data base of users. Also got to know about like databases like PostgreSQL, how they are being stored. For example, the database administrators, credentials are being stored in the system, and then the systems login are being stored in some encrypted like environments within the operating system. So just that level of hierarchy between how you have like a database on your system, and then you have that login to get into the database, which is stored in your computer system, and then from there you also have like a login credential to the system, which is also stored in some um, you know, encrypted like environment within your operating system. And moving on to Perl GPT, which was like um, I would say it was it the body of the robot? No, that wasn't the body.
Perl GPT is our program to be able to write Perl source code.
Okay, got it.
And
So
that is still in under development right now.
yeah, I think Perl GPT actually utilized like some LLMs, right?
Yes.
Like, and it's basically, I would say, um, it's different from like softwares like ChatGPT, because this one you get to like build it with like open source tools, like Perl, on Linux systems, and using Shell Bash as your terminal and everything. And I just got to understand um like the working environment of building like this kind of softwares, and how you need so much I would say like you need to get like this um not GPUs, but you need like server houses, like server space to be able to like keep your systems running. And I got to explore how Perl GPT is going to be like I would say like a CPAN wrapper. If it's not it, please correct me. Like a CPAN wrapper for like interaction with LLMs, and how to build the next AI chatbot, and artificial intelligence in general. Um, so yeah, that was a quick rundown between these three projects got to work. I got to have an idea with, and how I got to explore the Pearls, the Pearls modules, the Pearls like environments, right? Source codes in Perl, read source codes in Perl, and executes a few commands in the Perl language. Yeah.
Very good. Okay, great. So my final question, or one of my final questions for you here,
Okay.
is um, we each of the uh, interns or externs, as we call you guys,
Yeah.
got to choose um, one Perl project to follow up on, which we
Hmm.
don't need to go into right now, but you also got to choose one of your own projects that you want to work on as your long-term idea.
Yeah.
So if you are willing to tell us about your visionary idea,
Yeah.
and how we can help you here. You're in front of the whole Perl community right now, Ohi.
Yeah.
How
Got it.
can we help you with Perl to carry out your vision as a brilliant, young, new Perl programmer?
Okay.
So what's your vision? What's your idea?
So yeah, my idea would be like to create a more, I wouldn't say sophisticated right now, but like a more you know reliable offline capable, like a more reliable ride sharing app like Uber, right? So my goal is to like just create this platform for for like better than Uber, but designed to like work on low cost systems, like low cost phones, for example, users that are trying to order make an order for a ride, also in regions with like maybe um like low internet or no internet. Basically, it can work offline so long as like you've downloaded all the required like you've downloaded all the required resources. Also, it uses like open source infrastructure, just like Perl, built basically on Perl, and uses offline features like for route optimization and getting through the best going through the best corners and everything. And this idea came up to me because I was trying to revolutionize third world countries, for example part of Nigeria, or like part of some third world countries that they don't really have. I would say they don't really have access to ride sharing apps like Uber, but even when they do, they have, like, I would say, the amount to get from a place to another place is quite unrealistic. And I'm trying to bridge in the gap and get in here and make ride sharing more affordable, and also make everyone to have access to it, from those with high quality devices to those who have low internet, unreliable devices, or don't even have internet at all. They could still have access to this platform or to this software and get to their required destination for a cheaper price.
So this is really a more robust. What's the word when something can be used when there's no internet or bad electricity or bad conditions? Is robust, what's the right word for that? Something like that? So, what is it?
Off-grid, maybe.
Off-grid, yeah. So a solution that works even in adverse conditions.
Yeah.
Is that kind of one of your big ideas, one of your main points?
Exactly. Yeah. Just exactly that.
Okay, so we're looking at something that's similar to an Uber type system, but that it could work with very bad internet, no internet, low power, any sort of other low old devices potentially, or even someone who maybe doesn't even have a phone and they only have a computer or a laptop or something like that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Because you can book rides currently. I believe so, because once you try to get to Uber on the web, it directs you to the Play Store or the App Store. So you can't use Uber on the web or on the desktop.
Correct. You have to have a working cell phone to use Uber, and a lot of your potential users would not be able to ever do that easily.
Correct.
Okay. So yes, I know fault tolerant, I guess, would be another term.
Low resource.
Low resource. Resilient, reliable. So yes, robustness and fault tolerance. Okay, so this is good. This is a good start to start thinking about things. And I want you to know that you are part of our community, and we're going to help you to do this idea. Okay?
All right.
You're not going to be on your own. We're the whole reason that we exist here is to support young programmers like yourself to be able to invent things to help others in the world. And that is exactly what you're doing here. So I would like everyone to give Ohi a round of applause for what he's been doing, because this is very, very impressive. Very impressive, young man.
Thank you.
And I know you're going to take this back. Now, you come from Nigeria, is that correct?
Yes, I do.
You're going to bring a lot of amazing ideas and brilliant source code and programs back to Nigeria. And I don't know what other community would reach out to help you as much as we will. So I hope that you will accept our offer. And it's not just me. It's not me, believe me. In fact, there's Brett Estrada here, and there's everyone else here that's on online today and that will be joining. John Napier-Kowski is probably someone that could help mentor you as well, because he's big into web applications, and he could help you with a lot of that stuff as well. So let's set up a good time whenever you're done with your Houston internship and whenever you're ready to start thinking about your new project, and let's try and put together some kind of basic proof of concept demo for the December conference.
All right.
And we'll help you do that. You have to come up with your main idea and what you want the requirements to be, and then we'll go through the entire software development lifecycle with you.
All right.
to get a proof of concept, and then a working beta copy that you can send to a few early testers, and then eventually a full production copy that could actually start helping large numbers of people in Nigeria.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Braswell.
Okay, buddy. We're going to be with you every step of the way to help out all your friends and family, all right?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, sir. Well, once again, a round of applause for Ohi. Great job, sir. Great job. All right. Thank you, sir. Rolling on to our